Thanks, Sharon. I'm going to highlighting Korean tea culture. Can you hear me? Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you.
I got so excited. I forgot about the 15-minute break and then I went straight away. So we are ahead of time right now.
That's okay. How's it been going? All right?
Yeah, I mean there has been a tech difficulty, but still we are still doing it, and
Yeah.
it's going towards the end. And yeah, it's getting there.
And tonight you'll be able to sleep and relax.
Yeah. Actually, I want to edit this festival and have a watch party with other people, because doing something live, it makes me nervous. So I
Yeah.
enjoy it, but I don't get to enjoy it fully. But I want to
Yeah.
enjoy it fully with the people. So I want to edit
Yeah.
and throw a watch party later.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the Facebook, my mobile. So if anyone has question for Sharon, feel free to write in the comment and I'll interview it. How did you first started working with Korean tea industry? How did you get that connection into
I got invited by my Wong Foundation. They had the Bosong Tea Festival on about 7 years ago, and and I didn't realize that Korea had such beautiful teas, and it really surprised me so much. And that when I got there, I tasted it, and I thought no one outside of Korea knows that Korea has such beautiful tea. So I have made it my passion that I would promote Korean tea.
Oh, lovely. You certainly did with the videos and then class. Do you also offer Korean tea class through Australian Tea Master?
Yes, yeah, we do. Yeah. So we teach Korean tea in our tea mastery classes as well. And, I work with the farmers as well to try and help them promote the teas around the world. And I also have presented at World Tea Expo for Korean teas as well. So, yeah.
Did Mr. also participate in Australian International Tea Expo in 2018?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I felt like I've seen him, and
yeah.
yeah, I've talked with him, and then that was the first year I arrived in Australia, and I
Ah,
was about to purchase his matcha, like powdered Korean.
yeah, yeah.
I wanted
Yeah,
to, but then
he is a very passionate farmer.
yeah, but then he gave me that as a gift, like Sue, do well in Australia, and I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah, he's like that. He's a lovely man.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's lovely. Oh, checking. I'm not sure whether I'm on the current speed of the thread. I feel like
You poor thing.
interview.
Oh, no.
I thought I had everything ready, but with the lockdown and power out in Melbourne, it's been very interesting.
I know it's hard to see whether it's it's on the feed or not. You can't see it. I'm the same.
Oh, I have a question from Kirsten. A friend brought back Jeju Island green tea and it was fabulous, but tricky to import. What is the best way to access quality Korean teas for people in Melbourne?
In Melbourne, so we have quite a range of Korean teas. So they can go to Australian Tea Masters. They can email info at Australian Tea Masters. We have, the Korean matcha. We have Korean the Woojin. At the moment we've got fresh junjak in. So we're constantly, and we have of course the Korean breakfast. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we have a range of Korean teas.
Were you able to get fresh tea from this year as well?
It's on the way now. It's actually on the it's on the ship. Everything is so difficult with the freight at the moment because with the whole industry, it's very difficult to fly. We normally fly the teas in, but now this time they're being shipped.
Yeah, especially from Korea to Australia. I've tried to get teas, however, the domestic shipping companies wouldn't accept it. So I have to like a DHL or FedEx. I think those are
and it's very expensive.
yeah.
Yeah. So well, we have some, so please let me know.
Yes. And Kirsten said, excellent, thank you. So
thank you very much.
Korean tea purchasers from Melbourne.
Thank you.
And we had like a response, thank you for an amazing presentation. It was so easy to follow the story as each word was supported by a photo and text. So we
that's good.
And what's your opinion on the quality between Jeju and continental teas? Martha, I'm not sure what do you mean by continental teas?
Do they mean maybe international? They mean other international teas? Well, just so that they know that every single day I drink Korean tea. Oh, I have, so I've traveled all over the world to the different plantations, but every single day I drink Korean tea with my lunch. So if that tells you anything about what I think about Korean teas, they're my favorite. I love the green teas, but I also have Korean breakfast a lot as well. So.
Actually, we had a question about what's your favorite tea. Oh, that's difficult.
My favorite tea is Korean woodjeon or sejak, one of the first or second class, yeah.
Do you have like favorite region that you prefer in Korea?
I love Bosong, but Hadong has some beautiful teas, and Jeju as well. I mean, you can't, each region has something specific, and the farmers in Hadong that do, some of the wild teas are really amazing. So, I can't say that, I love the green teas of Bosong, but, some of the beautiful teas of Hadong, the oolong style, and, some of the black teas are really lovely as well. So. Yeah, I don't want to say, and I buy tea from Jeju as well, so I don't want to say anyone in particular.
Currently drinking Korean tea too.
Oh, very good.
But this was like a blind test, like there is no info. I got it from a friend, but without information. So I'm like trying to figure it out, like which region is it? Like maybe one day we could figure it out.
It's really hard sometimes. Normally when there's more C notes, it's coming more from Bosong, but Jeju as well, it's very, very difficult to tell, because we do the judging, usually every year. So it's really hard to tell the teas from which region, they're very different.
Definitely. And it's not a fresh tea, so it's even harder for me to figure it out. Since we're doing Korean tea festival, and I kind of wanted to have Korean tea too. Like I drink Korean tea, but not as much as you. Like I don't drink everything.
Yeah, I love the taste. And when I first tried it, it was very unusual. So it really was, I had to get used to the flavor. But now when I drink it, it's really hard for me to drink other teas because I love the freshness, and it's got a lot of vibrancy in the cup. So it's really nice with food. It's a really lovely tea. Yeah. And once you try the black teas very unique because they're very sweet and honey, and a lot of completely different to any other black teas in the world.
When you drink black tea, do you find some of them are citrusy and sour?
No, I never find sour. More and not even really citrusy, more like soft malt, like a soft malty note, with hints of sort of honey and a bit nutty rather than sour or citrusy.
When I drink Korean black tea, I'm either way. It's like goes towards maltiness, sweetness, honey, and then sometimes I taste something citrusy, and I was wondering whether that was characteristic of a Korean black tea. But then,
No, well, when they put them in the little citron, you know, the yuzu, when they put the tea in there, then you get really strong citrus notes. And that's a very delicious tea. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
you've also worked on creating Korean breakfast. How was that like, and how long did it took? Because
Yeah, it was an interesting thing because, you know, I teach blending. So when I was invited to teach the farmers, so I went over there, and when they when they bought their tea, because I said we can't blend, they wanted to make chocolate flavored teas like American sort of Western market. And so I said, bring your worst teas. But when I started cupping them, because always before we create a blend, we have to cup. And when I started cupping them, I couldn't believe how delicious these black, because I'd never had the black teas before, because it was only about my second visit to Korea. So mainly I only tried the green teas. And I just was so shocked. And I said, you can't put chocolate flavoring on these teas. They're too good, you know. And so we made all the farms we cupped. It took us about 3 days because we have to profile them. So we have to make which is the strongest, which is the lightest, because always in a breakfast blend, it's made up of many different types of tea. And once we chose each farmer put in a certain amount, and then we created the Korean breakfast tea, which is different, slightly different every year, but we try to keep the profile the same.
yeah. Did you also worked on the design together, because it has really beautiful design with white and then gold ring. It's trendy.
Yeah, no, I did that myself in Australia. I didn't design it. I worked with somebody, but I wanted that Korean look, you know, so the 12 farmers and depicting 12 rings. And yeah, it's really, a lot of people have commented on that. So
whoever designed it did a great job. Like,
yeah, so it's trademarked as well. So we sort of own it with the farmers. So it's really good.
yeah, it feels luxurious, trendy, stylish, but also has the minimalistic and natural style into it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I didn't know it represented the farmers.
Yeah. So it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exciting.
And unique.
Yes. And from the profile, I've seen you recently opened the Korean office for Australian Tea Master. Is it still you, or
It only well, I'm a member of the Korean Australian Chamber of Commerce, and I've worked with different companies over there. But we launched that the year of COVID struck, so we haven't been able to. I haven't been over there to be able to do any work, but we will be doing classes in Korea. You know, tea mastery classes, tea blending classes. You know, we've got a lot of interest to do that, so we just have to wait until we can travel again freely.
Is it gonna be in English or in Korean with a Korean instructor?
It'll be in English, but with a Korean translator. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have a really good Korean translator. So
Nice. I'm going through the questions. Younga asked, what is your favorite Korean tea? But you've already touched on Ujan.
yeah, Woojun, yeah.
What is the recommended brewing water temperature for a Korean green tea?
Yeah, so you don't really want to go under 85, you know, or down to, you can go 80 to 90, but you don't want to go over 90, because part of the reason what's happening, you know, because I teach in different countries in the world, and what happens is the Western palate is not used to the bitterness that comes from green tea. So, you know, when the leaf is only very small, especially Woojun, you only need very short steeps and not boiling water, because then it creates the bitterness you get in green tea. So we always want to drop the water temperature down, but, you know, around 85 to 90 is good. And it only needs a couple of minutes, because it's actually, because the leaves is quite fine, the extraction comes out quite quickly. So yeah, we don't want to burn the leaf. So I'd say 85 to 90 is good, but no, definitely not boiling water.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe when drinking yapcha. Have you tried the yapcha?
What is yapcha?
Not many Koreans also drink yapcha, but it's the lowest quality of green tea grades. But
yeah. Yeah.
But just because it's considered as lower grade doesn't mean it's like.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, because your pronunciation is much better than my Korean. So yeah, yes,
It's like a
yeah.
hard later than daejak, so it's lower.
Yeah. So it's the lowest grade of our processed tea. So it's the last of the processing. Yeah, I've tried it, and even that is good. Even that is good. And and it's a bit more woody. A bit more. It's got a bit more more mellow notes. It's not as green like on the other end of the scale where you have Woojong, which is very umami, and down the other end, you have this latest flushes that are very woody, nutty, not so green notes.
Yeah, because that one larger leaves and more like, what do you call it? Branches? What do you call?
Yeah, there's the twig, like the twig. So the branches and the little twigs that come off with the last is before they cut the bushes back. Yeah.
So unless
sorry.
So unless drinking 엽차, it's recommended to brew lower temperature. But 엽차, it can be brewed okay with boiling water because of the twig and the larger.
That's right. Yeah. It's like similar to kokicha and bancha and the bancha in Japanese teas. Yeah. So the chopped twig and the leaf together, so you don't get the bitterness. So you can have boiling water. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a mart, and then like for a 500 gram, it was like $8. So less than $8, 엽차 grade. 우전's like for 50 gram, it can be like $90, $100.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, this is Korean tea. I see it's leaf, but why is this so cheap? And then I got it out of curiosity and then tried it, and then it was good. Like it has its own charm. I mean, it's considered as low grade, and then
but it actually has quite a good flavor, and it's a good everyday drinking tea. But I mean, I actually like Junjak as well. We've got some Junjak Plus in, which is really nice, and it's not so expensive. So that's and I find that to be a really easy drinking green tea, because Woojong's an acquired taste, whereas Sejak Junjak are much more everyday drinking green tea without being too strong.
So for people who want to try Korean teas but has that barrier of price, they can still try like 엽차 or junjak as well. But
if they try junjak, I would highly recommend. Yeah, that's a nice everyday drinking green tea.
Yeah, because when people want to try Korean tea, I hear many things. Oh, Korean tea is so pricey, but it's difficult to say that, because when you know all the process and all the work behind the scene, like it's not. But compared to other countries, like it can be seen as like pricey, and then why is it so pricey? But then there are different grades, and there are different Korean teas that people can choose and enjoy.
Yeah, and Woojong is so expensive because, like you said, the time it takes to get the Woojong. But that's why, I always recommend Junjak. That's why we carry that. Probably we sell the most, because it's a good price, it's a good flavor. And for anyone wanting to try Korean green teas, that's the one I'd highly recommend.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've covered most of the questions. Oh, Kirsten said, paying for craftsmanship, it's an art from that we drink.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I've seen you also offer a tea trip to Korea. Is it like any can join? Like how?
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's only a small group. I started it because I normally go to Korea about 3 to 4 times per year, and because I love it so much and I'm so passionate, and everyone was because I'm always telling everyone how great it is and how beautiful the people are and everything, and then I just saw everyone was like nagging me, driving me crazy. Take us to tell us when you're going to Korea, and I thought I don't want to be a tour guide, so I talked to my friends in Korean tea and culture, and we made a small group. We only take like maybe between 8 and 12 maximum, and then we go to all the farmers and the farms, and we make tea ourselves. We can put a hanbok and get dressed in Korean clothes. We sleep in the temple. We do so many things. We go to ceramic masters, and the incense, and we learn to make the treats. So we do so many things, but it's like a tea and culture tour, and it's not really commercial. It's much more a little group, and we have a lot of fun. And so I just do that once a year. But we were booked out last year and the year before, but we have to keep on moving. So maybe next year, when people start to travel, I might even have 2. So I'll see.
How many days do you do?
5.
5 days?
We do, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's like short, intensive tea.
Yeah. Yeah, so they come in on the day before we start, and usually come in, and we stay near the old and near in Sadong, and we stay for the first, so in that afternoon, and then we go early in the morning, and then we start, we go to all different places, and we learn about the flowers, and it's quite intensive, but it's good because it's short and it's not a dragged out, we don't waste any time. So, and we eat the local food, we have barbecue, we have all different styles of Korean food. Yeah. And the last night we have chicken and beer.
So it's like going into K-drama.
Yeah, we even go and we go karaoke, so we do everything in one night.
Who are the 3 participants? Are they all from Australia, or anyone can?
No, the last trip was from people all over the world. So they flew into Korea. So yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah.
It's exciting. Sucha,
So
I asked from Suchati as what's your favorite Korean food?
well, I like bibimbap, and that's my lunch sort of food. And I love I love bulgogi.
Yeah.
And I love chicken and beer when we can go and have it. Just because it's so different, to us, and barbecue. I mean, I love all Korean food. Yeah.
It's hard to choose one favorite because it's so.
It is. I agree. Yeah. And I love going to the tiny little places for to eat, where there's a little family, and they're cooking. And ginseng chicken soup is really good. So yeah. Am I making you homesick now?
Actually, I'm hungry. When was that? Yesterday? 2 days ago? I got kimbap, I got tteokbokki, I got kalguksu. Because with Uber Eats, I can order from Melbourne. And then so I before the Nomad Tea Festival Korea started, let me feed myself with Korean food and Korean spirit, and I ordered Uber Eats.
Oh, that's nice. I make bulgogi myself as well. So yeah, I like.
You marinate yourself.
Yeah.
Which tea would you pair? Which Korean tea would you pair with bulgogi?
Oh, I mean, probably more of the older, like the Daejak or something like that. More body to it rather than more umami. Yeah.
Because when I drink udon, I want to cherish the udon. So when I food, I'm towards Daejak or even Yeopcha.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Eric said 3 to 4 times a year. So jealous. When I was listening, I'm like, Sharyn goes to Korea more than I do.
I know, that's because I love it so much. And we go to the festival, and yeah, it's like that's my thing, that I've, after all the countries I go to, I've missed Korea the most. It sort of feels like my second home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel really at home there because the people are so kind to me, and the farmers are my friends, and yeah, and I really feel really connected with Korea.
Which do you miss the most?
What do I miss about Korea the most? My friends, the farmers, and because I'm very close to them. So yeah, I miss them the most. Yeah.
Do you do like a virtual talk with them?
Yeah, sometimes, like last week, they rang me up and they were out to dinner, and before they had the second and another close, they couldn't go out, but they rang me and they talked to me on the phone. They put me on the table so I can talk to them.
And then
Yeah.
all the delicious Korean cuisine.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very lucky. Yeah.
Yes. When I go to Korea, like I would love to spend more time with the tea farmers and in the field, because when I was
Yeah.
in Korea, I spend more time touring like tea cafes, tea houses, because I live in Seoul. I only
Yeah.
tea areas couple times. So next
Yeah.
time when I visit, I would love to spend more time with ceramists, pourers, tea makers,
Yeah.
yeah, explore.
Yeah, and the ceramic artists are really lovely as well. There's so many kind ceramic artists, who their work of art is so unique, and they put so much care,
Yeah.
into that. So yeah, and I have the Mawong tea festival is on in August, and usually, I mean, I don't think they're not holding it this year, but it's really nice time to connect to tea. There's a lot of it's on at the conference centre, and there's a lot of opportunity to meet the farmers there.
Yeah, Byungwon is really great. Like they provide different presentations. That's actually where I saw you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I did iced tea. I think last time I did an iced tea presentation, but every year they always ask me to do something different. So
I will share the picture personally. I have a picture of us with other
oh, that's nice.
when you did the tea time for kids. So you are wearing clothes.
Oh, I was a fairy. Yeah, I was a fairy. That's right.
For tea
The
party.
tea party, yeah, and then the children were so gorgeous, and when I was sitting up on the stage with them, and one of the little they said about making wishes, and one little boy said, I want to be able to fly like you, will you take me away, will you take me with you? And I said, I don't think your mummy and daddy will be happy if I take you away. I was thinking, how am I going to get out of this, because these kids are wanting me to take me with them. I want to be a fairy like you. So yeah, it was funny. It was a really sweet time.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing all the presentations. Our time is up.
And thank you very much, Sue, for all your hard work, and to Nomad Tea Festival. It's such a great, thing you're doing, and I know how much work goes into it. So thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Yeah, it does take a lot of time and effort, but the day like today makes it make sense.
Yeah. So 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
I will talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Sue. Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks, Sharon, for sharing presentation and all the QAs. We are gonna take a break about 14 minutes and then come back with Nicole later about biochar. And I will see you in 14 minutes. Have a break, go to toilet, eat something, and let's gather together.